afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, your only sanctioned source of comedies to entertainment. All for you to have everything and amazing 1 vs 1 on Kholodny Ferma. In the West, it is Expensive Runner fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, the glory of Comrade Stalin, and socialism. Taking on the role here of the 5th Mechanized Corps with Partisan tactics, featuring radio intercept, partisan troops, partisan tank hunters, spy network, and Mark V versus these, it is Angreifen, fighting for the Oberkommando West, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier Division here with Overwatch, Elite Armored, and Feuersturm, featuring infantry, Obersoldaten, and Volksgrenadier bulletins there. Well, that's also infantry, basic standard stuff there. We got double comps here for Expensive Runner. And, well, the special item comes up, but noting here, we got Volkswagen there for Angreifen. As always, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and press that bell button. It helps me, it helps you, but it mostly helps me and YouTube, I guess. So please do that. Also, big thanks to my Patreon supporters, without which this episode and so many others would not have been possible. You're all a charming bunch of people out there, so big thanks to you. And of course, you too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon, or you can just donate. Links in the description. We got here for jump saying Norfolk's there. Cool bank for Angreifen, like to use a bit more territory in the early game. Sturmpionier there could engage the conscript in a bit of a close quarters rumble there. The Sturmgewehr is the most in a gun. There we go, pulling up close and aggressively. More folks on the way there for Angreifen. Truck on the way there for Expensive Runner. Conscript there being pushed back by the Sturmpionier. As we can see a bit of disruptive play here from Angreifen. Quick note as he backs off very rapidly, since obviously otherwise firing this engage is just going to be a waste of manpower for Angreifen. But even then he's just disrupting a bit. That might even draw in more troops here. So if he plays this correctly, he can actually disrupt here, Expensive Runner a bit, then further sort of slows down his movements. Kuban secure in the south here as the Sturmpanzers. I guess the focuses eventually will tie up most of Angreifen's forces Expensive Runner's forces elsewhere. But there you go, one by the conscripts. Scout car there for Expensive Runner. That's going to be a problem here for Angreifen in the early game, since the Oberkommando West does struggle with the scout cars, if they don't have access to anti-tank rifle grenades or Panzerfass, and he's got no panzers for these, and he's got no early truck. So, I mean, one option is also Elite Armored to go for the 2-1. That can also deal with it. So he does have some options if it becomes too much of an issue here. But our scout car rolling ahead here. No engineers or conscripts in it. Going straight here for the Volksgrenadiers. They're going to quickly be pushed out of cover. And that's going to make things very difficult for them to fight here when they're also getting shot at by the conscripts in the church. And there you go. Quick retreat the entire unit with Jürgen left dead in the dirt. A Kholodny on the way there for Angreifen. And then the Großdeutschland. Scout car there hammering over with its 50 caliber there mounted on the front. It's Kuban going in here. Southern victory point secured. There you go. Kuban needs to get it fast. The Kholodny for halfway done there for Angreifen. Guessing the fact he hasn't gone straight for Elite Armored and a truck means he's not going to go for Elite Armored and a 2-1 then. So Feuersturm here, Overwatch possible likely here for Angreifen. Scout coming into the centre here. We got more conscripts there for Expensive Runner. No sign yet of partisans or partisan activities. Note he's been laying down a lot of barbed wire, but also worth noting the way it's been set up there is so we can actually capture troops in it. A bit there. So sneaky play there by Angreifen. Scout King Norfolk's going to get repaired a bit, but also probably going to pop the flamethrower units inside of it. That way forming up a very mobile flamethrower motor unit that can really put pressure on Angreifen and make things miserable for him. Okay, now that's arrived. More folks on the way there for Angreifen. Troops moving towards this church here, occupying it. Bit of skirmishing here. Sturmpan is laying down mines and stuff by the missions point. Good spot there. Kuban Marine are going to flank the conscripts behind the heavy cover. Thumbs up there to Angreifen. Nice setup there. Scout coming from the north. Giving away its position. A bit awkward there. Might have, of course, been a warning shot to Expensive Runner, but it also means Expensive Runner can theoretically play around. There you go. Going in through here. Exploiting this little gap there. Good play by Expensive Runner. And there we go. We got the first Partisan squad out here. It's party time with Expensive Runner. Around here, going to need to retreat those folks on this fast. So right here, this front line situation all getting a bit ugly here for Angreifen. We got more folks coming up, but there's the Partisans and there's the scout car. This is going to get a bit ugly there. Going to focus on the Partisans. That's a good move. They are easier to kill, but they also pack a lot of punch there. And like Kevin is going to get assaulted here by the scout car as well. Situation getting pretty ugly here for Angreifen. The Kubwagen is down, ladies and gentlemen. Good hit on the scout car though. Almost got it there. Main gun is out. Main gun is out. Or not. Yep, apparently the gun is not out. Despite saying so. So it gets away, and he gets to do a bit of damage there. A bit awkward there for Angreifen. Shot on the way there for Angreifen. Never see what it then is. He's planning, but again, elite armor seems unlikely, though it could also be somewhat useful as the part. But then again, parts and tank counters could create lockdown the 2-to-1s. We'll have to see, though. It is an option nonetheless. It is an option. It may not be the prime one. We've got the second Partisan squad out here for expense runner. For in fact, the ones that primarily work with the Soviet Union. And in fact, not all Partisan groups work with the Soviet Union. In fact, some fought against Soviet Partisans. But a lot of them were basically just Soviet troops caught behind the front line during the initial push during Operation Barbarossa, for example. So there were a lot of like Soviet infantry amongst the Partisans. Additionally, a bunch of them were also made up of paratroopers from failed paratrooper operations. So Soviet Partisans, to some degree, could actually be quite nasty chaps in that department. At least quite well trained. Obviously not all were that. But a little fun side note there in Partisans historically. But again, not all fought on the Soviet side. Some were just out to get independence. And, you know, some just, you know, fought for whatever reason. Like, there was also a case, for example, where the Germans used Polish Partisans, for example, to fight Soviet Partisans. Even though the Polish Partisans hate the Germans' guts, they also hate the Soviet guts. So, you know, the Germans used that to their advantage, sort of. Mines down here, though. Partisans opening up the full screen here. Good setup at the end of the ambush there by Expense Runner. Thumbs up. We got triple Partisan out already. He is hitting that Partisan button hard. Clearly, he is a full-blown member of the party. Scout car hits a mine, though. The only party that one will be joining is the party in hell. And there you go, mines filling up. Even as they themselves hit a mine and one of the members get killed, they're just like, alright, Petrov, lay down the mines. Petrov's dead. Sergei, lay down the mines. Yes, sir. Guard Partisan only up against the Sturmpioneer. Mechanized rating up there for Angreifen. Looks could of course be useful, so could a Puma. He's likely, I think, to go for the Puma. Angreifen is a very big fan of the Puma when he goes to the Mechanized Regiment. He tends to actually just go straight for it, but he can go for the looks here. We'll have to see what he does. I mean, both are viable options. Sturm punch between the Partisans. Partisans, they're not quite lined up well. There we go, we got a grenade off from the Partisans. Sturmpioneer out it. Holding up there as well, very good. Focusing northwards. Troops have been forcing. Puma on the way for Angreifen. Going here through the south. Going to hit the fuel pond this there. Moving for the fuel pond there. So both basically harassing the other's resource flow. Puma slowing the way there. If you can get the assault levels of course fast, that'd be pretty great there for Angreifen. Particularly with the Partisans. The more firepower you can match versus those, the better. Partisans holding up there, and of course worth noting Partisans can lay down mines. Not all players make use of that though. Obviously, most players don't make use of Partisans either, but you know, of the ones that do, even fewer use mines. Continuing about here. And we got Molotovs on the way. He's just got full upgrades of his troops. Very good there, very good. Also, of course, because the Partisans benefit from those upgrades as well. Continuing up against the Folks Grenadiers. Partisans following up here in the wake of that. A cannon of his shoots. Rocket misses. MD-50 falling up here for Angreifen. Heavy fighting in the south. You got Partisans moving up there. And there you go. Grenade off. Partisans taking advantage of the chaos to get closer. But into realizing versus the Sturmpanzer close range for the Full Squad, that's not going to work out particularly well. Got response there. They're killing the Partisans. Back here, MD-34 sitting up. Puma shooting away, but obviously going to struggle a bit there versus the infantry. It's not a great anti-infantry counter, but at least it can harm them. It can get kills somewhat consistently, but it's not amazing versus infantry either. Mine down there from Angreifen, very good. Still, expense running, maintain quick map tool. There we go. Partisan tank hunters arriving here. Popping into the church, good hit down the Puma. MD-50 up in the close range. Another trot on the way to the Angreifen. Could be Battlefield headquarters, could be mechanized. There you go. Find Panzer Strikes to destroy the wire. Expense runner finds a way. He always does. They could pop an incendiary grenade there to punch. There you go. Didn't happen. Partisan destroyed it. So thumbs up to Expense runner for some quick on his feet sharp thinking there. Petrov, there's barbed wire in the way. But what? Shoot it. With this thing? Yes. Won't we die? Don't worry, I've done this 1,000,000 times. Are you sure? No, just do it. Oh, okay. Battlefield headquarters pretty aggressively from Angreifen as well there. Pretty aggressively. He's definitely a bit confident in that positioning there. Puma sending out there for Angreifen and the German army, the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier-Division. We've got mines here by the southern nations. We've got conscript engineers moving up there. Worth noting, the expense run only has one engineer squad, and they've got flamethrowers. So he actually has no minesweepers. He will have to get some help for the engineers eventually to have to deal with mines. So in this case, just set off the mines anyways. I mean, that works too. Back here, reinforcement. Battle group headquarters right about down there for Angreifen. Folks up here in the south can hit the southern victory point. Then we got Partisan laying on mines. Thumbs up this expense runner. He is one of the few. The elite. Folks there is the engineers. Up north, that point being secured. Folks being pursued here by a large chunk of engineers and partisans. A ragtag group of murderers. As opposed to a disciplined group of murderers, which is pretty much everyone else. Northern point then we with Fultz more engineers on the way there for expense run. We got flare mines going up in the north as well. Thumbs up there. Angreifen is just being pinned down. I feel like he needs to do something to try and break this stalemate, because the current set of tactics is just being, I think, allowed to be slowly ground down here by expense runner at the current state of affairs. Which is great for expense runner, but Angreifen doesn't really benefit from that, so he needs to like make some sort of breakthrough attempt here, or hope that the expense runner really mucks it up. I mean, that can happen. That can happen. We got medics up there as well. Definitely rare to see a battle group headquarters like this. And if I'm going to get early on in the stage, you know, if Oberkommandwest, it was actually much more common for till around here, when there's also shit here. You simply see that forward battle group headquarters here with retreat points and everything, and just be really fast to deal with. But after all the change to the Oberkommandwest, so this isn't just the super tactic. This is incredibly rare to see. So it is nice to see that in a sense. Mines down here from expense runner. More mines aplenty. North there, forces be securing the northern fuel point. He was tying down his opponent's force in the centre. Good play there by Angreifen. Expense runner has. Oh, he is finally taking out. I was about to say has yet to take up. He would definitely benefit from that. And that was with Angreifen. Some tech eventually is going to be nice. I mean, he's got the Pumas that can sort of fend off against medium arm for some time. But if he gets like swarmed by tanks, that Puma's not going to cut it. But it can sort of tangle with T-34s from 6s. There we go. We got Overwatch and we got Jäger light infantry squads here for Angreifen. Western field then being seized. Shooting from the centre here. Full towards the engineers. Puma shooting. Sturmpanzer went up as well. Puma up in the tank. Hunter Partisan start the church. And you fit for watching the south. Up north here we got the full towards the advancing Partisan troops. Close to Veterans E1, Cons following up there as well. Troops there being routed, getting a bit dicey up north. Puma continues to blast away at the church. That's going to be a long time it's going to take if it's going to take out their church on his own. And there you go, we can see that Expense 1 is going straight for the Mechanized Armor Company, not bothering with the T-70. Obviously with the Puma it's going to be less effective. He could have considered issuing 6s, but at this point he's just going to go straight for something bigger. Though I think that's the Puma and the issuing 6s, a pair of them could actually be much more efficient, say a T-34 from 6 though. The T-34 from 6 is obviously much better as the infantry. I'll wait truck out, there's going to be a third one there, so that'll be soon be Schwer punted quarters. I want to use the MD-34 a bit more actively versus Expense Runner. Puma continues to blast away up north there, hitting a flare mine. Looking to connect the northern fuel, however, briefly here to his own lines again. Push through the centre here by Angreifen. Expense Runner is conceding the centre here for now here to Angreifen, deciding the north fuel is much more important. I think that is very much the correct call to make. You're not going to get very far in central victory point, whereas you're going to get very far with fuel. So thumbs up there to Expense Runner. A lot of players just kept finding on the centre and just completely giving up in the north, which is typically the reverse of what you want to be doing. T-34 from 6 on the way there for Expensive Runner in the Red Army. Truck on the way there for Angreifen, considered out. Probably going to sit around here. Yep. Partisan managed to surprise your Sturmpaniers, almost getting a wipe there. Good attack there by Expensive Runner up north. Finding here, pushing back the conscripts. And the T-34 from 6 is almost done with Expensive Runner. South here, Puma moving up. Partisans trying to fall into the shadows once more, but I don't think that's going to happen here. And there you go, Puma spots them. Shoots and lightly stings them, but no real damage. But there you go. T-34-6 out here for expansion runner for the Red Army. Good old Soviet armor. What's going about here? Sturmpioniere setting up, moving towards here. We got the Schwerpunkt up in a few moments. We'll have to see if it goes from some Oversoldaten. Those could help us the Partisans, obviously some of the other troops. Counter-advancing at the Volksgrenadiers. Large force here by expense run, and Angreifen is no other option to accept to retreat unless he wants to throw his Volksgrenadiers away in a pointless series of engagements, which would be quite silly. McKenna following up here. At the infantry of Rashid, that's like Ken's going to be pushed down there. I think he realizes we've got troops moving ahead there. Could also head into the mine. Firing around the center once more. Church, they're still occupied here by expense run over rapidly up north here. T-54 goes to the base. Gets Panzerfausted, but without anything further to damage the engine to follow up with here. It's not going to matter too much if there's an expense runner. Puma being occupied in the center of this area. Grenades off. Sturmpioniere taking a lot of damage, being reinforced here though. More damage, and the center troops moving in here for Mr. Expenser Runner. Puma falling back, Partisan constantly moving about. Sturmpioniere moving up. Constantly being hosed down. And there you go, Partisan moving from the other side. Authorization almost done there. And there you go, things turning a bit ugly here for expense run. The troops up close now as they take heavy damage from the flat 37. Still managed to damage the Puma from an anti-tank grenade. Good throw there by expense runner. Good throw. He's going to need more armor soon though, or some tank destroyers to have to deal with that. Angreifen meanwhile is going to be taking quite some time to get any tanks. At the current rate of things, it's going to take him roughly 6 minutes to get out just a Panzer IV. And that's assuming, of course, he doesn't lose any more strategic points. So there you go. Orbs on the way there for Angreifen for the German army. Back here, troops reinforcing healing. Got another T-34-6 on the way for Expensive Runner. We got 263 victory points versus 151. Expensive Runner in a lot of ways leading here versus Angreifen. But Angreifen still has a good force, so it's obviously anything but decided. Though, of course, he does need to be a bit carefully. Well, any mistakes could prove a bit costly here for Angreifen. There we go, light machine for the Oversoldaten. We got full sitting down Sandbags to help defend the center versus any assaults here from Expensive Runner. Very good. Constant units through the south, going to launch a major assault here. We got one MD-34. Also note the Partisans here might use the cover to try and close up. If he spots the machine and try to use the terrain to get close as possible and then clear it out. Nice play there by Expensive Runner. Nice setup. But then going into the Sandbags in this case, probably should have been cleared by something. Didn't know any position there. Possible oversight there by Angreifen. Partner to neutral, well, Angreifen action there. Let's go, troops moving in there. Overson holding up in the center alongside the Jaeger squad there. Constantly continuing to block out any reinforcement attempt here from the center. Good move there by Expensive Runner, though might be actually wasn't planning that, as it quickly backs off in that situation. Machine reposition there. Go T-54 moving in. It's going to need more armor support here in the south. Line to tank support to be specific, but he doesn't have it. Mine spotted just in time. Like Kevin effort is noticed. We've got the Puma moving up, something behind from infantry, and there you go, two T-54s and 6s. Puma moving into very hospital terrain there, as it's very close quarters. It can't use its range mobility very well. Gets incredibly lucky, he doesn't hit by anti-tank rifle grenade. Very lucky there for Angreifen. Yeah, the assault here in the south for Angreifen kept the southern victory point. Completely falls apart there. Puma shoots and misses. McKenna shoots, misses well. Puma shoots again, misses again. Now the Puma's just hitting trees and squirrels. T-54 moves up, misses the Puma here. We probably should try and push northwards. There we go. I'll attempt to counter here, defend the Schwerpunkt quarters, as it's now being directly threatened here by Expensive Runner in a lot of ways. So yes, nasty engagement between Expensive Runner and Angreifen, where Expensive Runner I feel like came ahead there. Puma gets a good hit in the T-34-6. Expensive Runner's not far off from another T-34-6. Shot bounces. Back here, troops reinforcing. Setting a Kettenwerfer for almost done. He's still plenty of time away from a Panzer IV. Puma setting out. My T-34 sitting up. Puma shooting out, but misses. Second shot misses as well. That's great. Another Kedman for the down for Angreifen for the German army. Deutschland. Another shot fired there, missed. Huge throng of infantry being mobilised to the front line just to reinforce heel. Good hit from the T-54 and the Puma got the anti-tank parts coming up as well. And there you go, routed. Katyusha rocket launch on the way to help beat Angreifen's position to dust. Very good so there by expensive runner. I mean, considering the way that Angreifen bunch up his troops with also support weapons, plus the map is just narrow and cramped, meaning the Katyusha rocket launch is going to be quite effective. And there's been another map, like say Arnhem Checkpoint, a bit more open, all that. The Katyusha probably would be in some ways less effective. But again, on a map like Kholodny Ferma, which is basically a series of choke points and bottlenecks, I mean, the Katyusha rocket launch is just a generally potent weapon beyond what it already is. And Angreifen's really going to need to work on those victory points, but also he needs to like get more fuel. He needs more fuel. Partisan, they're hiding, ready to ambush any Germans who get careless. Framing a moment. They're going to fall upon them. There we go. First squad leading in. The second one remains was hidden out. And there you go, Brandhandgranate. First they're beating the Partisan. Surprisingly moving the other squad. And that's actually a chance of getting a weapon the Partisan squad there. There we go. Minor loss there for expensive runner. In the end though, they were just Partisans. They were expendable. Moving in, probably expect T-34 to arrive in the south. There goes second Partisan squad now moves in for the kill. Angreifen quick to retreat in response to that. It's north side, he's not really seeing a lot of action though. Feel like he could extend his attempts a bit more there. Also Katyusha rocket launchers right at the front line here. Counter routed. Coming in like head caught in a pretty bad spot there. Katyusha rocket launch firing in there. Punishing Angreifen, just basically bouncing everything up there like support weapons. Thumbs up to expensive runner. Machine gun cleared out. But Kedman was able to survive, but still, that could have gotten very ugly there for Angreifen. That could have gotten very ugly very fast. It just highlights the dangers of bunching up your stuff too much against a third player. Troops finally northwards again here for Angreifen. Notice sending in the Stone Pioneer squad with Minesweepers first. Good idea there. Finding the sense here, we got the Ops, we got the Jaegers trying to get, they got the machine gun destroyed here by the anti-tank Partisans. Good work there by Expensive Runner. He's not far away from another T-34. Puma streams forwards. Now for H-52, Jaeger squad about to get wiped out. Troops being pushed back. You got 129 versus 438. Massive lead if Expensive Runner on Angreifen. Massive lead. Angreifen really needs something to turn this around to feel up. But there you go. Good hit from the Puma and the T-34 from 6. Close to Vetchney 2. Partisan squad hiding here by the southern victory point. Another good hit from the Puma there. Very, very close there to Vetchney 2. And there you go. Gains it. Gains better rate of fine accuracy, but also takes a nasty hit there from the T-34. There you go. Partisan spring the ambush on the full Grenadiers. Forcing retreat here. Very good, very good. Close to the Partisans. Murder them up close. Grenade off. North T-34 moving in there. 7 kills. A bit over that 21. Sturm Pionier under fire. And we got the Panzer IV finding a way to Angreifen rather delayed, but again the fuel situation has been very much in Expensive Runner's control. And he can actually go for a third T-34 if he wants to. He could also go for H-5, so he can just go for a bunch of S-6s. Like, at this point, I feel like Expensive Runner just is more or less every opportunity open. He can just go for what he wants because he's in such a strong position that, like, none of the units he would choose would really be bad choices. They'd just be different kinds of good for him. So, we'll have to see what he goes for. There you go. Third T-34 6. Great, it's going to put more pressure on the infantry. Of course, 3 T-34 6 versus 1 Panzer IV is still pretty tough and to deal with for the Panzer IV. Big infantry push for Expensive Runners to the south. Here we got 106 versus 421. Brandhandgranate versus Molotov. All of a sudden arriving, but unless they get off a great bang grenade, I don't think it's going to have much of an impact on the chunk of infantry there. They are outgunned and outnumbered and are quickly forced to retreat there. But we got the Panzer IV out here. Pin lock machine being added as well. Thumbs up the Angreifen. That's going to be very helpful there. Further north, a bit of skirmishing. We've got forces that are being writing the conscripts. Starting to finally extend more pressure north. This is good. Also very important for Angreifen. And should have been doing that a bit sooner, to be honest. Also, there's the T-34 from 6 up north. Shot fired, sandbags destroyed. Leaving the conscripts up north on south exposed. Forces from north exposed for the T-34 6. Oh, it's eventually 2. Pretty bad news since they get a high rate of fire there. Eventually 2. Forces they have to fall back very fast. The Archem's not support here though, but the flank is exposed. Also the good flank with the T-34. Or even the Katyusha at close range here, for example, could be absolutely backbreaking there for Angreifen. Next is what's going to happen here. Angreifen seemingly forgot about the Katyusha. Expense runner did not. Good lord, that was practically a rocket shotgun blast. One Kholodny is destroyed, at least denies one of them to expense run. He doesn't even want them. He doesn't even want them. So that's a bit of a loss there for Angreifen. He just lost both his Kholodny here. Didn't get the T-34 from 6s. So that Katyusha's just been a great choice there for expense runner so far. An amazing choice even. Mark Tark and the Puma there go. Main gun the T-34 6s. Push a bit too far in. This gives an Angreifen to go them to destroy it. We got anti-tank parts popping in it. Push back the Panther 4. T-34 6 about to go down here. Puma's almost got it. Almost close to eventually free as well here. Gonna go for the Katyusha rocket launcher. Oh dear, this could give Angreifen some real momentum here versus expense run. If we can get rid of that, maybe some of the T-34s. Infinite moving ahead. Do we get the Puma up there as well? No. T-34 in fact might just be able to deal with the Panther 4. Angreifen might have extended his luck here. Might have been a bad call after all. Even then, it's a bit uncertain. Can he get the Katyusha here? No, looks like it's going to get away. Looks like it's going to get away. Puma those moving up, racing forward. T-34 there, takes a rear hit. Panther firing, and there we go. No, gets destroyed. Panther passing the T-34 from 6s. Yes. Oh, and he gets it before losing the Panther 4. He might have lost the Puma, but he got 2 T-34s from 6s, though. Of course, he did lose 2 of the Kholodny. So, all in all, not great for Angreifen. Oh, and he lost the Fulton Squad. This is bad. It could have been worse, I suppose, at this point. It could have been worse, but it's bad. I mean, he got most of the map, but he really paid a high price for it. A very high price for it. And, of course, expense runners quickly replacing his armor losses, though, of course. Angreifen's not far off from the second Panther 4, in which case he can get 2 Panther 4s. He might just be able to put more pressure on the expense run. There you go, Katyusha firing again. Close veterans to 1 here. Worth noting he's trying to salvage, I think, here. The T-34 for fuel. Very good move there. Repair pioneers there. Of course, he knows where this is, so he knows where to aim the rockets. Good work there by expense runner. Thumbs up. Hoping to get lucky and take out the Panther's Katyusha rockets. Arguably, perhaps a bit of a stretch, but if it worked, it worked. So, I mean, I don't blame him for trying, though. I would say the odds were kind of low, but it's kind of one of those, like, in this situation, would it really hurt him? Probably not. And the worst case is, in this case, it actually delays the repairs on the Panther 4, keeping out of the fight for longer. So even like if it didn't quite pay out, it actually has a knock-on effect that actually nonetheless has an impact on Angreifen. Even if it's not like directly material, the fact that again the Panther 4 won't be repaired for some time is going to hurt him. It is going to give Expense Runner more time to go. So even there's like thumbs up there to Expense Runner. There's clearly a lot of thought to that one. Or maybe it's just like, ha! Comrade, fire the Katyusha. Where? Just fire it. I like the explosions. I mean, that could have just as well been in thought process, but I like to imagine Expense Runner, you know, thought about it, go, yes, even if it fails, it will disrupt his repair capabilities, giving me a great advantage versus him. At least that's what I hope. But I'm pretty sure it's just going to be, I like big explosions and I cannot lie. Anyways, final repair part needs around to fix up the Panther 4 once more. So that's going to put a bit more pressure again as Expense Runner, but the situation there, he was looking like, yes, he was getting somewhere, and then just the Expense Runner slapped him down. Again, plans are getting the T-34 from 6, Panther along the way, got the Fulton advancing it, anti-tank parts hiding out. Church destroyed. Near gets down to 5 from the T-34 from 6, the Kholodny moving up. Less impressive Katyusha barrage, but considering how many of them so far have an effect, you know, I think we need to, like, you know, grant him one that isn't, like, amazing. Panzerform's good to go there for Angreifen, and second Panzerforce ready, so now it's got 2 tanks out. Expense runners and got 2 T-54, so there might be something to work here with for Angreifen if he plays his cards correctly. If. Oops, that boom be trapping, but they're going to get disrupted by it. Oh dear. Nice attempt though, and there you go. Instead we get a blend cover grenade. Very nice. Molotov in the return though. Bun grenade off as well. Part of the center, double Panther Forceman about here for Angreifen for the Groß Deutschland. Grenades, I think, flying at the Volksgrenadiers. Plenty of manpower being floated. I mean, you could consider fuel. Cassie wants more armor or munitions. Cassie wants more munitions, but I don't think he'd be floating that much manpower here. He could also be going for another T-34 from 6. Of course, he might be planning the 2 Panther Forces out to begin going for H-35s, which might actually be an idea here. Katyusha rocket launch their halfway to Echny 2. Jaeger setting northwards there for Angreifen. Shot fire there, double end tank punch out the building. Katyusha rocket launch also sitting up there, possibly halfway to V2. There you go, gets both anti-tank parts and the expense runner. I think slightly overestimated the strength of the wooden building versus 2 Panzer Force. Structural engineer he is not. Unless, of course, it turns out he's actually starting to be one, in which case, hopefully his professors don't find out. T-54 to the damage engine pen being pushed back. All of a sudden, opening up. Betty 2 gain on one of them. Counter shot getting murdered. No Fox Squad getting murdered. Just heavy casualties on both sides. Gets one from the conscript squad there. T-54 down to half health, less than half health. Gains 33 though. Panther Force might be able to finish it off here. One more shot to go. T-34 is both damaged. Panther 4 there eventually 2. Might want to be careful here. T-34 down, and the Panther 4 is down. The T-34 gets one more shot, but then finally goes down to the Kettenwerfer. A brutal exchange of steel and fire. Everything's just burning up. Huge casualties on both sides. And I'm going for more Sturm Pioneers. Panther 4 there need repairs. Katyusha being hauled back. Good lord. That is some absolutely spectacular battling here. Force the neat reinforcements. And we got more Partisans out there. And we go up on opening their Partisans, forced to retreat and could get whacked here by Angreifen's brave soldat. And there we go, down to 1 man. I should have become a tail just like my mother wanted. Ah, dead. Got the H-5 up there for expense runner. Will Angreifen go for more Panther Force? Or what will he go for? Jaegers have been grenaded. Nice toss there, but not quite enough. Orbs on there, close to 83, but I think down to retreat here. Blend cover though. Or not. Yeah, they're gonna might actually get wiped there. Bit to slow their by Angreifen. Yep. Bit of a bad call there. Very short infantry now versus expense runner. Panther good to go once more for Angreifen. Will he go for another one? Will he go for Panthers? Or what will he be planning here versus expense runner in the Red Army? We got 77 to 311. Conquerors and Partisans flowing into the center. We got Steel Pioneers moving up. Here, Kevin shoots, gets a good hit in the H-5 tank destroyer. Van Hunt got out of the midst of comes. There you go. Katyusha once more unleashes another barrage straight out of hell. And in this case, the dodges it. Almost got the anti-tank Partisan squad. Number 1 man survives. 1 man lives. Panther 4 there, close to it, moving up. Shoots in the H-5, gets a good hit. H-5 meanwhile misses. And we got more orbits on here for Angreifen. Steel Pioneers being routed. Panther 4 needs to get out to safe distance as well. Strap Hunt up some of the country moved a bit too far there. Got the center victor point again. Troops reinforcing. Some saying northward. Steel Pioneers need reinforcement healing. Also, no one's grabbed this point by the way. At least for some time. That might be an easier grab for Angreifen. I'm getting a bit more fuel and munitions. Not far away from a Panther 4, though. Of course, he could be planning a Panther for all we know. He could even be like trying to go for a King Tiger. I think the King Tiger at this stage would be very ambitious, considering how few victory points is left and how his map control situation currently is looking. Jaegers advancing there, 3 orbs and getting light machine guns. Very good there. Partisan charging ahead here. Orbs on there. Holding out there. Go. One squad hold it and push back. Panther 4 moving up. Just arrive at the scene and assist the infantry as they're getting plastered with fire and shot. Ready to finish the fire than the Panther 4. Anti-tank parts moving ahead here. Nothing in the Panther 4 thing needs to pull it back there. Pull it back. Angreifen. Rückzug. Nice hit on the issue. They're heading there for Partisan tank hunters for back. Northern Rick Point East, but the Fult's going to bring about here, sneaking in some territory. Very good there by Angreifen. Is that more or less got the resource for a Panther in terms of fuel? He just needs manpower. Wants to go for that. Of course, he might be planning another Panther for after all. I mean, either option I think is good. Panther obviously is going to be a bit more risky. King Tiger is not Panther, but King Tiger. Maybe the Panther's going to be a bit risky. Now we got a T-70 for expense runner this time here. That's very interesting. Very interesting. You'd figure to go for the T-34s from 6, but there's something that compels Angreifen there to go for the T-70. More Jaegers out. Interesting. So, no additional armor here. Obviously, he was a bit short on infantry. Going for Jaegers, it does make sense to some degree, but I kind of think we'll be seeing a Panther 4. Might be exactly trying to then stall up for the King Tiger then. Bit ambitious, a bit risky, to put it very mildly. Mine goes off on the Fult's Grenadiers. There we go. T some light tank out here for expense runner and the Red Army. Again with the shooting here. I'm taking out the issued 5 actually, not bad. There you go. The Kenner's about to get hit by the T-70 and Swarm. Misses. Yikes. Orbs moving still moving ahead for the carve point. Panther 4 is ready to support here. We got 65 to 61. And Angreifen is somehow turn this around ever so slightly here as his opponent. Again, I still feel like he should be pushing out more armor in some way faster than he currently is. So again, what he's planning here is a bit uncertain. At least to us. Obviously not pushing back conscripts. T-70 moving in there. Sneaking in some extra shots in the stun punch. Nice work. Still, expense runner's not been cut off from his resources. In fact, he's only got 1 point connected now. Meanwhile, Angreifen's getting plenty of fuel and munitions here. Stun punch right. We got the each time moving in as well. The big swarm of infantry, partisans, conscripts, and engineers all charging forwards. Panther 4 sneaking some hits there. Issue 5 shoots, misses. Folks are spawning as well here a bit. Up north, victory point almost seized here by the Obersoldaten. We got an MD-34. Oh, he cancels it. It's starting to look like he's playing for the King Tiger because now he almost has the fuel. He just needs some manpower. So it actually is a King Tiger stall that somehow, despite being 65 victory points, despite being others behind, he actually decided, you know what, I can make this work. And somehow, he's actually making it work. Now the question is, can he then make the King Tiger once he got it bloody well work? Because otherwise, he just obviously just kind of sabotaged himself. Because at this point, he probably could have just like almost 2 Panther 4s out. For almost the same cost. Be careful of the Panther 4. Shot went through. Anti-tank grenade. Go where the expense runner punishing Angreifen there for extending his reach. Again with them moving up. We got Jaegers moving up as well. They almost got the Partisan squad there. And dead. Using the train here to avoid the issue 5. Good play there. Again with the 2. There you go. Okay, choose your rocket launcher. Firing again. Rocket screen through there, but Kevin takes a hit. And oh dear, almost saw some units inside the base. Alright, as well to hit the base. And there you go. Well, Kevin pushed back. These fast exposed. Well, the Panther 4 is exposed. He's fast moving in. He's actually going for a Panther now, not going for the King Tiger. Sounds like he's going to go for the King Tiger here, but he does go for the Panther. Got the T-70, but he's going to lose the Panther 4 here. Oh, yeah, went down to the anti-tank grenade. Troops reinforcing healing. Another T-70 here for expansion runner. We got 65 versus 204. Quite the fight so far here. Expansion runners almost use every ability except spy network, actually. Meanwhile, Angreifen use the Jaegers, and that's it. That's it. No Goliaths, no For the Fatherland, no Howitzers, and no Sector Assault. Time for that, though. Though again, I think in this case, if you want to go for any army, you should just go for Panzer IVs galore and just, you know, double up on the anti-infantry ability. I like choosing Norfolks. Panther there ready, and of course, expansion runner knows about the Panther thanks to radio intercept. Focusing north, so we've got 2 pound range to ambush them, and there you go. A devastating deluge of death unleashed by the submachine guns. Quick retreat then in response to such a unrelenting ambush. Panther watching over the centre, pinlight machine almost done there for Angreifen. Could consider Bubich having up some of the points here. More attacks here from the north. I think he was going to attack the north. I think you could consider actually a path through here. And that would like make a bigger push that catches the expense run off guard, maybe hit some of the more exposed and vulnerable units. In fact, he might be able to take out the Katyusha here with a bit of good luck. But again, some imp support for the Panther would be a good idea. Troops that blasted by it. Mark vehicle on the Panther. Oh dear. And he doesn't even get the Katyusha. Oh dear. And he lost another Kettenwerfer. That was not the most well-executed assault there by Angreifen. Not the finest assault I've seen. Great though for expansion runner. I think he even got a Jaeger squad with that. So I ended up being quite punished there for Angreifen. He might even lose the Panther here with a bit of bad luck. Need to shoot the Stone Pioneers. Yeah, that did not work out at all. The Kedman destroyed as well. Yeah, that was a failed assault, I would say. A failed assault. Should have been much bigger flank from the south here. I think it had actually caught expansion off guard there, but instead he just marched the men in to be, well, murdered like cattle. Lambs to the slaughter. One Guineas there on way for expansion runner. Digging in around the centre victory point. Very good there. We got 65 versus 168. North here, folks, Nation 5 being pulled back. See some of the folks' gonna do is. Southern mix point being ceased. Partisan engaging. There we go. Nice little attack from the north. There you go. Another Panzer on the way for Angreifen. Another Panzerkampfwagen für Ausführung Jod. Jäger Command's going Northfoot. Or Jäger Lines are scoring Northfoots. Half 8 to 55. In the ace level. Offers on the half 8 to 52. Panther shoots, misses. 49 points left for Angreifen. It's going to get very tight if he pulls off something. Panther shoots, misses. 85 with seemingly also misses, perhaps. Machine gun away the fixed bench runner. Rather late choice here. Not necessarily bad, but a bit surprisingly late here. Jaeger squad there. Right into Katyusha barrage and almost wiped out as well. That Katyusha's just been absolutely amazing FX bench runner. 35 kills, ace level. It's really just been so crucial in so many like beatings to Angreifen. Fortunately, Jaeger still punching Norfolks here. Obviously, they're being dealt with by the dealing with the conscripts, but they had themselves also being dealt up. Panther there, sneaking in some shots. Panther already up north there. Troops being held back and stopped there by expensive on the T-70 light tank, but where they also something go in the centre. Blenkerb off. But I don't think it's going to be enough here. Panther with a damaged engine. Expense runner goes for the kill over the HC5. Quick mark target if you have the munitions. Because they're calling in an anti-tank Panther squad soon. Panther moving in. HC5's main gun is out though. Gets it. Oh dear. 34 versus 168. He's got 2 tanks. His opponent doesn't have anything to really threaten the 2 tanks except maybe Partisan tank hunters. Could this be where Angreifen turns the game around properly and wins this? Can he win this? We'll have to see. Obson sees in the centre victory point here. Needs to be pulled back here for him. Reinforcement there. Good Katyusha firing again. Oh dear, almost a full wipe. He retreats very wisely. Yeah, Panzer IV going here. Gotta go for the Katyusha rocket launcher. Can he take it out? Needs to be careful not to deep dive too far and risk losing the Panther IV. Can do. We got a field on the way there. Backs off. I think that's the right decision to make there. Could sneak up behind to deal with the T-70 though. Troops pushing southwards there. Good move here by Spencer Runner. Goes for the more exposed points. Really figuring out where they are and hits them. Thumbs up there. Advances rapidly and swift. Could to lay down some mines for this other troop meanwhile, to make it hard for the Germans to counter-take into it. Panther rushing southwards. Got the cup on there. But losing the southern victory point. We got 34 versus 157. I'm going to think just needs more infantry right now, more Oberstad, more Fulton needs more machine guns, anything that just can help grab points and hold them. Engineer squad almost up with the Panther IV. Mines being laid down by the southern victory point, good work there. 34 versus 157, Jaegers are dealing with advancing conscripts, machine gun also backing up their Panther. Can of course deal with the use of machine gun, being that has a bit of limits there, good double anti-tank grenades damaging the engine of the Panther. Got the Oberstad moving up here. 4 kills in the Panther, 22 Panther will deal with the troops in the south here. Sturmpionier moving up. Troops being routed, but the Panthers taking a lot of damage. We got 28 versus 157. Sturmpanzer from swiftly here for the southern victory point. Another Panther IV there for Angreifen, though still should consider more infantry to help defend points. Going here for the field gun, 24 versus 157. Katyusha fires again. Orbison very rapidly routed by that. Panther's going to sneak in from the south now. Need to be careful though. Lots of Sword infantry. Panther flying there. You should consider laying down some mines for the Sturmpioniere. Going for that car point to fully grab it for the German army. Panther 5 being pulled back for repairs there. Jaeger squad at ace level there, 21 kills, awaiting reinforcement healing. Going for the northern fuel point. She's nearby ready to deal with the Volksgrenadiers though. Big push for the centre now. Angreifen really needs more infantry. He's got a second Panther almost done. We got 23 versus 151. North of Fulton, a lot of trouble. Need to treat them. Rückzug. And I need to defend here. We got 2 Panthers ready to counter attack here, plus the Panthers soonish. Trooping moves forward as well. Can he deal with this? Can he win this? We got 23 versus 149. Counters all bunched up. Easy targets for the Panzer IV. I think Expense Runner slowly realising, hang on, he's just made them easy targets for the damn tank. If he could hit. If he could hit. Katyusha firing infantry, dodging it, very close, but buys more time to get the centre point. We got 21 to 149. Up north, Panther IV's moving in on his own there, not assisting around the centre. I feel like that's a pretty potentially bad call there by Angreifen. Like, he's cleaning out victory points, and he's sending his Panther IV not where it's needed, but elsewhere. And the Panthers also heading northwards. Panther IV there charging through them, supporting. He needs more for this. Barely got anything left. Losing that Volksgrenadier squad did not do him any favours. Needs to call in troops, not just Jaegers. Panther IV down. He's done just 2 tanks. 14 versus 149. He's bashing apart Expensive Runner's forces, but he's not getting the victory points. He's down to 12 here. He's about to lose everything he has. He got 11 points left. Got the T-70, but he needs the victory points. He needs the victory points. He's got 9 left. Morbs on the way. They're not Jaegers. Not something you just get there immediately. Sturmpionier versus the field gun. Concussor grenade on it. Need to grab the point. We got 7 points left. Grenade off on the Sturmpionier. Oh dear, they almost get wiped. Forced retreat. And I think that's a GG here. We got 4 points left. He's got nothing within line of sight to grab any of the points. He made a definitely bad call there, saying the tanks northwards rather than here. I can obviously understand wanting to flank them, but he needed to deny their point to the opponent and just grab the point, and he should have called for Jaegers to run the Obsergarden. And that is GG, game over. A victory there for Expensive Runner. A very close fight here between the two. Expensive Runner making great use of the Partisan Doctor, certainly showing what he can do, though definitely feel like Angreifen could also handle a bit better. So there you go. Hope you got this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links. Cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope you'll see you tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.